Father Clayton here, along with Father Block, and Thanksgiving Day marks 100 days since our arrival here at Our Lady of Grace.
This being the case, Father Clayton and I thought that we would share with you our top 10 memories, things that we've learned, and things that we love about Our Lady of Grace Parish.
So we hope you enjoy the top 10 of the first 100. Number 10, I learned that when you move into a new rectory as a priest, always check the expiration dates on the food that you find there. It was my second day here, it was time for lunch, and I thought to myself, well, this granola bar that I found in the cabinet looks pretty good. So I opened it up, I started to eat it, and as I ate it I thought, it tastes a little funky, but it's food. Finally I finished it and I looked at the packaging and saw the expiration date, November 2015. And it was in that moment that I learned Father Tom does not like granola bars.
Number 9, we learned that COVID is not a great time to switch parishes. Father Clayton and I, we had that ice cream social plan with the parish, and because he and I got sick with COVID for a little bit, we had to delay it, and wouldn't you know that during that time, our beloved freezer here decided to stop working at a moment, and all those dilly bars which had been saved up for the ice cream social melted and oozed out through the freezer. It is a metaphor. Number 8, we are so grateful for how gracious you all have been in telling us your names over and over again. I can't express the joy I've had in meeting some of you a dozen times over the first time. And for those who have worn the same mask over and over again, thank you. That's actually a big help.
And speaking of graciousness, we know that anytime there's a change, it takes a lot of patience on everyone's part. And getting a new set of priests, it takes a lot of patience. And you all have been wonderfully hospitable toward us, wonderfully open to us, wonderfully affirming of us. Thank you so much for your generosity in that regard too.
Number 7, Father Clayton and I discovered that we're pretty good at basketball, at least when we play against middle schoolers. So there we were, 4th week here. Father Clayton decides to challenge the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to make their best team of 2. And summarily, team after team, he and I defeated all of them and asserted our dominance at basketball.
Número 6. Nos encanta la comunidad hispana aquí de Nuestra Señora de la Gracia. Es una bendición estar en una parroquia con una comunidad hispana tan entregada y tan dedicada.
Y tener esa comunidad tan llena de líderes y de personas de mucho talento y tan dedicado al servicio del Señor.
Entonces, gracias a todos ustedes por la vida y la energía y la fe sincera que ustedes traen a nuestra parroquia. Number 5, we have an incredible and hard-working staff here at Our Lady of Grace. I'll tell you, from the moment that I arrived, I've seen how that's true, and no one showcases that reality better than Brian Meyer, our facilities manager. Brian is the guy working day in and day out every day to make sure that our facilities and our campus are pristine, that everything's in perfect working order, and that nothing is overlooked. Brian, I'm sitting here telling people how hard you work and you're asleep in your office. Well, let's go check in with a few of the other staff members. Number 5, take 2. Here we are in the Donovan Center. We're going to come over and see our incredible youth ministry team. They are probably one of the most talented teams in youth ministry that I've seen at any parish that I have ever been at. And I'll tell you what, the way that these kids respond to Jake, to Julia, and Netzi, it is inspiring. Well, it looks like they're not here right now. Let me just check over here maybe. Hey, what? Number 5, take 3. I know that I'm going to find hardworking people among my staff here in the business office. Larry and his team are doing incredible things, keeping this parish afloat, and I love how hardworking they are.
And here's the river.
Let's go. We can joke about it, but there really is no denying that the staff here at Our Lady of Grace is incredible. From the moment that I got here to talk to Father Tom about the parish, he told me that this staff is one of the best that he has ever seen, and I can't deny it for a second. The people here are so hardworking, they love the Lord, they love their job, and they throw themselves into it 110%, and is one of the best things about being the new pastor at Our Lady of Grace. Number 4, I have learned how generous our parishioners are. I've been looking, like every pastor has to, at the financial information for our parish, and I've seen how wonderfully you all have taken care of our parish, even during this tumultuous and crazy year. During a year in which there was a shutdown, and you all still provided for and supported your parish financially, and during a year in which there were so many other organizations and people asking for your donations. Thank you for your goodness to us. I think of the October financials in which we broke through even our budget of income and of collection income, which was wonderful. I look out and I see the new Pave the Way project that was just completed. And I see the way that, how beautiful that looks, and I think of the great generosity of so many who came together to make that possible for us. I've been keeping an eye on our Catholic Ministries appeal thermometer as it keeps ticking up. And right now we're at about 48% of our goal. And clearly there's a lot of work yet to do, but as a brand new pastor who came in here and who asked you for $389,000, I expected to have about 2% of our thermometer full. And so how wonderful you've been to this parish, and how grateful I am for your generosity. Thank you. Number 3 was our celebration of our patronal feast day on September 8th. It was a wonderful communal experience to pray the rosary with so many of you virtually on our patronal feast day, the feast of Our Lady of Grace, which is on September 8th, and to come together and to pray the rosary, and to have so many people who were watching on Facebook and online at home and were joining with us in that prayer. And at the end of the prayer, to make that parish consecration to Our Lady, offering our parish and all the souls of our parish into her hands and trusting that she would bring us ever closer to the heart of Christ. That was the spiritual highlight of these 100 days, and one of the memories that I will treasure in my heart for many, many years to come.
Number 2, we love being at a parish in a school!
And finally, number 1, we've learned that even in the midst of a crazy time, in the midst of a pandemic, in tumultuous days, we've learned that God never ceases to bless us. He continues to pour forth these good things, and it's perhaps against the backdrop of how difficult life has become and how we can't take anything for granted anymore that we've grown to appreciate the blessings, large and small, as reminders of God's great goodness to each of us and comforts to us in this time that's difficult.
So here on Thanksgiving Day, our 100th day in the parish, we want to make sure that we express to each of you how grateful we are to God for having sent us here, how grateful we are to be with you. And from each of us, from all of us here at Our Lady of Grace, we wish to you and to your families a very happy Thanksgiving.